Service Dog Community Unity. What a guide dog user has learned about other service dogs. PSDP's Brad Morris interviews longtime guide dog advocate Janine Stanley.
Hi, I'm Brad Morris, and I'm the Director of Government Relations with Psychiatric Service Dog Partners, or PSDP. I have been volunteering with service animal groups for about a decade, and I've served on a U.S. government committee representing service animal users. We're here today in Ohio with Janine Stanley, and she served on that same committee with me. I'm proud to collaborate with Janine. What we're hoping to do today is to bridge some possible divides in the service dog community so that we can come together as stronger advocates and peers, hopefully.
Yes.
Janine, you use a guide dog, and I volunteer for a group that helps people with psychiatric service dogs. So why don't you tell us whether you see yourself as an advocate for guide dog users or for service dog users, and maybe tell us what the difference is between a service dog and a guide dog.
Well, that's a great question, Brad. And for me, I view myself as a service dog advocate because we're all in this together. Legally, technically, we're all in it together. We're all people with disabilities who rely on our trained dogs to help us be more independent. So you can't advocate for one group without advocating for everybody.
That makes sense. So, Janine, sometimes I hear people question whether service dogs for non-obvious disabilities really are service dogs, or whether they're really trained to do something that's helpful. Now, my spouse, she has a small dog. She doesn't need a big dog to help with her disabilities, and it's one of these cute little dogs, but that works for her as a psychiatric service dog. So, tell me something about what you've learned about these dogs and the people that might not fit the stereotype of a service dog team.
Well, the first thing that I have learned about particularly using smaller dogs is that we may not always know the function of the dog or what it's trained to do, and it might not be obvious from looking at it, just like it's not obvious for some of us that we are legally blind. If you have a lot of vision, you know how that goes. And that's probably one of the biggest things that I've learned. But look, there's that commonality again, Brad. Everybody's the same. We all have a disability that keeps us from doing things without our dogs.
So I think what you're saying, Janine, is that it comes down to the person has a disability, and the dog is trained to recognize and respond to something in a way that helps the person's disability.
Yes.
And the dog has to, of course, be behaved well in public, which usually takes a lot of training.
Right.
All right. Well, another stereotype people have is that a service dog has to come from a program or have a special certification or license or something like that. Is that the only way to create a service dog?
Of course not. And I think we're seeing this more in the guide dog community than ever before, with a lot of people choosing to own or train their guide dogs because maybe they can't get the breed that they want or the type of dog that they need from a program. Maybe they have additional disabilities. So we're seeing this more and more in our community too. So it's very obvious that it can be done.
Well, this has been really informative, but I want to know, is there anything else our audience should know about service dog users who may be different from them? Do you have any words of wisdom that might help us expand our horizons?
Well, I think it's important to be really curious about what someone else's service dog does, especially if it's not obvious, because you never know when you might benefit from some of those tasks, especially if they are things that aren't taught at a conventional guide dog program. So being curious, asking, and also knowing that that person faces the same feelings that we do when there's an access denial or misunderstanding with the public. So we're all in it together.
Well, that makes sense. That's a great answer. The only thing that I'll add is get to know folks. Seek out relationships with people who are different from yourself. Talk with them. Otherwise, it's too easy to fall back on a sticky bundle of stereotypes. So the more we can get to know each other, the more we can overcome those stereotypes and unite for things that are worth striving over.
Right.
All right. Thank you very much, Janine. I appreciate your time.
You're welcome, Brad. It was a pleasure.
Bloopers and good times.
Get to know folks, seek out these other relationships, and I'm going to redo
Sorry,
that.
that's really loud. I didn't realize.
Yes. Oh, good boy.
What? Yeah, there you go.
You got your butt pet.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes.
Note, there's a difference between what functionally makes a service dog and what legally makes a service dog in different localities. Check your laws to learn about the legal considerations in your area. This video was made with the cordial participation of Janine Stanley and the generous support of our community. Visit psych.dog for more info and psych.dog/donate to help. Videography and production, Bradley W. Morris, M.A. C.Phil, Veronica Morris, Ph.D., copyright 2018 Psychiatric Service Dog Partners. This video is for free public use and distribution in its entirety. This video may not be reproduced or used in part or whole by others for profit without PSDP's express written prior permission. Any sampling of this video must contain attribution to Psychiatric Service Dog Partners. Contact us at info@psych.dog for any requests or notifications regarding use of this video.